Hey, what's up? What's happening? Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. My goddamn neighbors upstairs. It's like they have like a herd of elephants up. Can you hear that? I hope you can. I'm about to go say, you know what? All right. Oh, let's center ourselves again. Once again, I have to do this once a day. Wu-Tang, Wu-Tang. Wouldn't be an episode of Stone Sports without a Wu-Tang reference. I know that's right. So today's show, there's a lot of talk about a lot of different kinds of sports. Jesus. Fuck, I fucked that up, didn't I? Come on, get it together, Birdie. Great hosting. All right. We talk about sports today. Like we do. Oh my God. We talk about sports. We finally get to the great Jersey debate, which wasn't as contentious as I thought it was going to be. At least it wasn't between Meech and Dubs. I figured they would go at each other's throats like they normally do. But it was actually a little bit contentious between me and Double. But don't worry, we're still buds. And don't worry, we will get back to our regularly scheduled programming of Meech and Double being at each other's throats and me in the middle of it like, hey guys, can't we just get along and be friends? We had some more audio issues this week, unfortunately, with our recording program. So it's a little loud, so you may not want to, blow out your speakers. Just a warning. Did the best I could, but we shouldn't have any other audio issues going forward, apart from the occasional, mic dropping out or Meech or Double sounding like a robot or even myself sometimes. We're doing the best we can in the age of COVID. We can't all be in the same room, obviously. So we appreciate your patience with that, and you know what? That's enough blabbering for me. Let's start the show. All right, and welcome to this Sunday's episode of Stone Sports. I am your host, Bert Spacklin. I have with me, as always, my co-host, Double. Say what up, Dubs.
Здравствуйте.
Again with the Russian. And
every episode, apparently, man.
It's Здравствуйте on Sunday recordings, and what the fuck is up on Wednesdays.
Okay, I got you. That makes sense. I like that you have a system. And my other co-host, Meech. Say what up, Meech.
What up?
All right, boys. So, there's a lot to talk about today. A lot of stuff has happened in the NBA in the past couple days since I talked to you. So let's start there. The Lakers have been making some moves from what I can see. What's been going on with the Lakers, Meech, since you're out California way?
Well, they signed Wesley Matthews. It looks like they just traded away JaVale McGee. That's probably to make some cap space for Marc Gasol. So they've done, and then of course they traded for Schroeder, which we covered last week. But they've been putting the pieces together on this team.
'Tis the season, boys. Woj bombs are flying. The Lakers have been very active, like you said. They picked up Montrezl Harrell from the Clippers, who I saw a report that him and Kawhi weren't seeing eye to eye, which is why Harrell hit free agency, because he won Sixth Man of the Year last year and was integral in their run. But another couple big re-signings. Van Vliet re-signed with Toronto. A lot of people thought he was going to chase a max extension from the Knicks. I don't think that offer ever came. Donovan Mitchell re-signed today, max extension for Utah. De'Aaron Fox, max extension in Sacramento. And my guy, Jason Tatum, a max extension from the Celtics. Two max extensions to keep an eye out for are Brandon Ingram from the Pelicans, and I had the other one here, Bam Adebayo for the Heat, because he proved in the playoffs how much of an important piece of that team he was. He drove them to the finals, and Jimmy Butler took over from there.
Yeah, they re-signed Gorgon Dragic.
The Dragon.
Try saying that name 5 times fast.
Try it real quick. Do it. Go.
Goran Dragic.
All right, now do it without the accent, because I feel like that's cheating.
Okay, no. It is definitely cheating.
Okay, no.
He just went, okay, no. That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
One more piece on the Lakers before we move on from them. Dwight Howard tweeted out that he re-signed a 1-year extension with the Lakers.
Yeah.
The Lakers then went and got Montrezl Harrell.
Yeah, bro.
Dwight Howard deleted the tweet and signed with Philly 1 hour later.
Bro, the way I found out about it was so fucking funny, too. Like, one of my homies that I used to work with, his name's Kashin. shout outs Kashin. I just was like scrolling through my feed and I just saw a post from him that said, "Fuck you, Howard," and I was like, "Uh-oh." And then I just like Googled it real quick and I was like, "Oh shit, bro, that's fucking
that's
hilarious."
not the first time he's won over the hearts of the LA fans there. Lakerland. Previous history with a beef with Kobe Bryant led to him leaving, and so yeah, I just thought, oh man, he can't buy a break with these Laker fans. He won a championship. Obviously, he didn't, but you know, he was part of a championship winning team there, and still just finds a way to just piss Lakers fans off.
Right. Well,
I've got some baggage to unpack with the Celtics.
Oh yeah. You seem like it was wrapping up that way last week when we were talking about, or on Wednesday when we were talking about the draft. So let's unload the baggage.
The draft I've kind of come back on a little bit. I was a little upset that night, but
okay, all right.
I'm coming around to those picks. I'm okay with that.
Okay, so what's the baggage then?
Fucking Gordon Hayward. That situation was so mishandled. They had an offer on the table from the Pacers that was reported from numerous reliable sources that it was Miles Turner and Doug McDermott for Gordon Hayward straight up, sign and trade. Then the Celtics wanted more. They wanted either Turner and TJ Warren or just Victor Oladipo, which the Pacers were like, go fuck yourselves. Gordon Hayward the next day then signs with Charlotte for $30 million a year over 4 years, 120. And everything's off the table. Nobody thought Hayward was going to get that money from Charlotte, and once they did, everything fell through. But the Celtics should have taken the offer when they had the chance. They needed a big man, which obviously they went out and signed Tristan Thompson the next day because they didn't fucking get Miles Turner. But the offer was in front of them. Danny Ainge tried for more. It didn't work out. It backfired hard.
So they essentially they let him walk away. Essentially, is what
when
happened.
They could have
gotten something for their asset, right? Yeah, that's
and Turner is a need. Like we could have filled a need.
That hurts, dude. That's happened to me a few times in my Ranger fandom, and it is like it's the fucking worst feeling, dude.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I kind of started saying last week. I feel like Danny Ainge has just fallen from grace. This guy, I mean. You got to make that trade. Like, you got to make that trade to get something out of him.
Yeah, you got to get something back, for sure. I agree with you. Like,
and
Celtics Twitter was
he
pissed.
Overvalued his hand like he has in the past, and they didn't get anything done.
Yeah, that's tough. Any other NBA news that I should be aware of? I would have been up to date, but see, I did this thing that I do every time I eat pizza, where like I put a pizza in the oven, then it comes out, and I'm like, all right, don't be a fat fuck. Just wait for it to cool. And then I don't, and I eat it, and I burn the shit out of the roof of my mouth.
Your mouth.
And like it's so burned right now, like the inside of my mouth is like raw. So I just haven't done anything. It's been a tough couple days for me, guys. So has anything else happened in the NBA?
Atlanta's fucking retooling up to fucking be a contender in the East.
Atlanta's retooled. Portland is retooled. The Bucks are retooling. Like there's a lot of contenders making moves. Portland, I think, has strengthened themselves the most. Their worst part of their roster last year is their bench, and they re-signed Melo, got Robert Covington. They traded for Enes Kanter from the Celtics. They re-signed Rodney Hood. Signed Derek Jones Jr. from the Miami Heat, who's played incredibly well in the bubble. And they got Henry Giles, who's former number 1 overall recruit to Duke, former first-round pick, and he just hasn't really worked out anywhere he's gone. But I like the moves Portland has made. And one more bit of news on the NBA front from Shams. NBA and NBA Players Association have agreed that players who elect not to play in the 2020-2021 season due to COVID must notify team and league of election to do so by December 1st. So 2 weeks before the season.
And double on the great transition, because my next question was going to be like, has there been any word on have they reached an agreement or anything? I don't know. I haven't been paying attention, so that's interesting. The NHL has leaked no news, so that's fucking par for the course, as we've spoken about before. Anything else about basketball that we need to speak about?
No, I'm good.
Nah.
Word up. So let's move to the recap, the old football recap. And we are going to get to the Jersey War at the end of the show, so stay tuned for that. But the first game on the recap list here is the Cardinals-Seahawks game. So why don't you Yeah, that was Thursday night, right?
Yeah,
Dude,
we said before we started, we were like, that feels like fucking ages ago.
yeah, dude, it really fucking does. And I love that, like, I was, like, sort of, like, passively watching the game, and then I looked down at my phone, and I don't know if it was you, Double, or if it was Meech, but somebody texted,
Meech.
is it just me, or do the helmets make their fucking heads look massive, dude? And the first thing I thought about was, like, I don't know if some people will even be old enough to remember this, but Meech definitely. You remember when you used to play GoldenEye and there was the DK mode with like the giant ass heads? Everyone had the giant ass heads.
Yes.
That's what they look like in those helmets, dude. That's what they look like.
Come to me at that time, but I was just like, what is the game where you used to have giant heads and tiny bodies? And I forgot about it until now you're bringing it up right now. Like, totally, dude.
Yeah.
I was like, what the fuck is up with Kyler's body and head? Like, that helmet made his head look like a goddamn...
He's already like 5'9", and you add that giant helmet on. The dude looks like he's 5'3" with a fucking, like, dome on his head.
Yeah,
So
like
the black
it
is slimming, so the jerseys like made him look tiny, and then the white helmet was just fucking giant.
Yeah, and I immediately walk into my roommate Sked's room, and I'm like, yo, Sked, like, do you think this is the case? And he goes, oh yeah, for sure, dude. They look fucking massive in those uniforms. But anyway, let's get to the game, dude. Let's get to the game.
Seattle pulled out a win, 28-21, to take sole possession of the NFC West at 7-3. Arizona falls to 6-4, and I really think the difference in that game was the Arizona couldn't get the run going. Kyler Murray is the only quarterback over in double digits for rushing touchdowns. Lamar Jackson didn't even do that last year, and he had 5 carries for 15 rushing yards, and as a team, they only had 57.
Wow.
Seattle's defense just kept them in check, and their front seven were getting in the backfield a lot and putting pressure on Kyler, which led to bad throws.
Yeah, I was gonna say, the Seattle defense just got after him, and it seemed like, they were constantly making the first move before Kyler was. Also, it looks like they hurt him a little bit because he was grimacing on the side. He was constantly warming up, tweaking with his shoulder. So he just kind of looked out of sorts too. And I think that that they the way they attacked him, the way they went after him, really just changed the whole feel of that game. Because I really thought they were gonna come out and just unleash the ball, and he just didn't.
Yeah, I totally agree with you with that. Even like the Seattle offense didn't even look that imposing. Wilson was 23 for 28, which is a phenomenal completion percentage, but he was still under 200 yards. Metcalf had 3 catches for 46. He did have a touchdown, but that's only 5 catches in the last 2 weeks since we called him the best receiver. Did we fuck that up?
I don't know if we fucked that up. I don't know if we fucked that up.
Has also been reemerging because he took a couple of weeks off, and that did coincide with a couple big weeks. But I definitely think he's still good. I just think that he has not been the focus of that offense the last few times.
Yeah, and it's only like his second year in the league, right?
Yeah, I mean he's still one of the best receivers in the league. I mean I threw it out when we talked about it, but there's like 5. Adams, Stephon Diggs, Hopkins,
Thomas when he's not punching teammates.
Yeah, he has not been a factor this year, but yeah, Thomas normally. So we talked that there's like a stable of guys, and they can all be kind of considered the best.
Oh yeah, I mean I'm not saying that like it being his second year in the league means he's not the best. I'm saying like if it's his second year in the league, like
tons of room for improvement.
Yeah, exactly. And like you can kind of expect some kind of like up and down a little bit. You know what I mean? Like it might be cause for concern. Sure. I'm not going to say it's not, but at the same time, when you have a player who's not, let's call it a seasoned vet, even though I know that timeline is different in football, you can kind of expect a little bit of up and down here and there. As long as they get out of the slump, like I think, it's to be expected. That's my opinion, at least.
You want to talk about a slump?
Yeah, let's talk about a slump.
Jaguars have lost 9 straight. Granted, they ran into a fucking brick wall in the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are still undefeated. But the Jags look fucking terrible. Luton is not he's not even as good as Minshew. 16 for 37, 151 yards, and 4 INTs today. The Steelers had 2 players with 2. Minkah Fitzpatrick, who's phenomenal, best safety in the game right now, and Edmonds, Terrell, I think, one of them. There's so many now. And The Steelers just fucking dominated this game, but we've been
So
running
they're
into a
10 and
common
0
theme.
now? They're 10 and
Yeah,
0 now?
10-0.
Jesus Christ. What the
I-
fuck?
It's a common theme that I've been seeing though. They start the game like really close. Like that game
Mhm.
was 3-3 with like 5 minutes left in the first half.
Right.
And then they ended up winning 27-3 or some shit like that.
Yeah, so what
It
we
was-
think they're a second half team?
Right, and that was the same thing with the Cowboys. Remember, we were in the Bengals. You're like, "Oh, this game's interesting."
Yeah.
Oh, this game's close, and then
Yeah.
it just turns into a fucking bloodbath.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, next game on the unless Meech has anything you'd like to say about that game. I'm sorry, Meech.
No, I talked for a year on that one. I hit everything.
It was one of the few we actually got correct this week, and I mean, I think it was a no-brainer. But I mean, I don't want to call us out, but I'm going to call us out. It was one of the few
Yeah.
we actually got correct this week. But as predicted, the Steelers looked great. I mean, and like we said, the defense has not been in question, and that was definitely the strength of the team today for sure.
My picks were dog shit this week, just like the fucking Lions.
Yeah, and I really didn't even have that many takeaways from the game. I was thinking, is Matt Patricia gone after this game? Because there's no way he should have lost that game.
Yeah, I mean that they had a backup quarterback in. He threw 2 picks. They gave them a chance in the first half, and they did nothing with it, and they just coasted in the second half.
Yeah, they didn't
Stafford
have
was-
CMC either, so I mean,
No.
it's not like they didn't have their starting
And-
running back either, and it's just like they came out flat and never really got going, never really got filled up with air.
And Mike
if you wanna use
Davis
that
didn't even
analogy.
fill McCaffrey's shoes as well as he had in the last few weeks. Like he was 19 for 64. On the other side, Detroit, Stafford 18 for 33, 178 yards, no touchdowns. And as a team, they had 17 carries for 40 yards.
Yeah, well, they did
Yeesh.
have their running back out as well, so there is that. Their main guy, I can't think of his name right now.
DeAndre Swift was.
There we go. There we
Yeah.
go. Yeah, Swift was out for them as well, but they still have AP. They still have some runners there to get some yards on the ground, and they
Cost
just
me
didn't.
in fantasy this week. Protect your fucking head, Swift. Caution.
The new Wu-Tang single, Protect Your Head.
Protect your head.
Okay, all right. Moving on, we got New England and Houston. So, Double, why don't you let us know how that game went? Because I didn't pay attention.
We lost.
Oh, no way! Oh, shit!
Yeah.
Oh, man. Condolences. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
27-20, Houston won. The Patriots are going to need to win out if they want any chance at the playoffs, and I'm not super confident that can happen. Cam Newton did look good today. He was 26 of 40 for a touchdown and was going through his reads really well. He found Damier Bird, who had a breakout performance with 6 catches and 132. That's who he connected with on the touchdown. Talk about more good things. Deshaun Watson, 28 for 37, 344, 2 touchdowns. Also a touchdown on the ground where he just ran over like 3 defenders.
Well, and he almost had another running touchdown that got called
Yeah.
back for a holding call, so
Yep.
he just looked amazing today.
There were so many holding calls in that game that didn't get called, but whatever. Texans had 3
Shocker.
receivers
Patriots
with 80
fan.
plus yards. Fucking Cooks. Jordan Akins, who I had never heard of, and he was just torching us all fucking game.
Oh, I mean,
Will Fuller was the
he's
last one on that
relevant in
list.
fantasy. Come on, you have never.
I
heard
have
of
Darren
Jordan
Waller. I
Akins?
don't need a goddamn tight end. Fuck off.
I'm just saying, he's a name. He pops off every once in a while.
Either way.
Your mom pops off
Fucking-
every once in a while. Hey!
Jeez.
Sorry.
Damian Harris has been the bright spot for the Patriots run game. I said that last week and said we were just going to pound the ball all game. Didn't do that. He only had 11 carries. He was productive. He's averaging 4 yards per carry. He had a touchdown, but we didn't give him the fucking ball. After the second quarter, he didn't have another carry until the fourth.
Good
I was
Lord.
gonna say they came out running and it looked
Yeah.
good. They looked
Yep.
to be in command of the game.
I don't know why
and
we
they just
stopped. I don't know how many times I tweeted today about the fucking run game. I was like, can we just run the ball? And we wouldn't fucking do it. I don't know why.
I would love for Double to be like one of the like post game press conference journalists, like one of the beat writers.
Dude, we should not have lost this game. We had more yards, more first downs, more time of possession, more sacks, less punts, and we lost by a fucking touchdown.
I would just love to
Yeah.
see you just like giving it to the coach, just like stand up and be like, I have a question. Why the fuck didn't we run the ball?
give it to Bill. I wouldn't give it to Bill. I'd give it to McDaniels, that fucking motherfucker. All we do is run dives on 3rd and fucking long, and he just doesn't run the ball when we need to. It drives me insane.
Double.
I could
Double.
tell.
That's your future coach.
Fuck you. It's Steve Belichick. He's gonna be great.
All right. This is becoming a hate circle. Yeah.
But on that note, one more thing on the Patriots. I saw a stat today while we were playing. 26 straight red zone drives from opponents have resulted in touchdowns against, or not touchdowns, but points against the Patriots.
Yeah, their defense definitely looks hobbled. I mean, last year I think it was one of the best in the league. This year it's not. And
but we have a lot of people out.
Opt-outs. Yeah.
Yeah, right.
And you lost Van Noy. You lost some veterans on that too, but you had a ton of opt-outs. But yeah, I mean the only notes I had on this game was that Sean is pretty fucking good, and someone get this man Eric Bieniemy.
Get him some help.
Eric Bieniemy.
Just get him some help.
Get that man an offensive head coach that can scheme him things, and he will be unstoppable, man.
Get him some help. The way Double sounds right now, I think we need to get Double some help. All right, let's move on.
Speaking of unstoppable, the Titans. AJ Brown carried half the fucking defense.
Dude, that touchdown was ridiculous.
Holy shit.
That was a grown man play. He carried half the fucking team, and like 3 of the people on his back were linemen.
He had a couple huge drops during the game, but he made up for it with this fucking beast of a play, dude.
Yeah, if anyone listening hasn't seen it yet, you need to watch it. It was one of the best touchdowns all season.
Yeah, and I mean, just harping on how we were both wrong all day. I picked them the last 2 weeks. They disappointed me, so I chose not to pick the Titans today, and they fucked me.
I thought Derrick Henry was going to fuck my fantasy day, but he was the only one on the team that was productive for me. But 28 for 133 and a touchdown. That touchdown came in overtime, which was the deciding score in this game. Titans advanced to 7-3. Baltimore falls to 6-4, and the Titans are now tied with the Colts for the lead in the AFC South, and Indiana holds the tiebreaker.
Yeah, and not only did they lose, Harbaugh almost got killed by Vrabel at the beginning of the game.
Yeah, I love that shit. 2 coaches just go out and they're just talking mad shit before the beginning of the game. Vrabel fucking wins, goes out after the game to shake Harbaugh's hand, and Harbaugh's like, nah, fuck you, get out of here. I'm not shaking shit.
Yeah, I love that kind of shit too. All right, let's move on to a game that I don't know if it really matters to Meech, but we got Philly and Cleveland. So how'd you feel about that game, Meech?
I mean, it matters to me. I'm a fucking fan, man. I was hoping my prediction would be wrong, and it wasn't. It's so crazy, dude. Like, Miles Sanders cannot stop fumbling the ball in huge moments. We're in the red zone. We just need to get points. You know, it changes the whole complexion of the game if we get points right there. We don't get points right there. He fumbles the ball. And it felt like from that moment on, it was just like, God, why?
That's Sanders' 4th career fumble to 9 career touchdowns.
Yeah, 5th? That was his 5th?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, yeah, you're right. 5th.
And last week, I think Meech, or maybe it was a couple episodes ago, but I remember Meech mentioning something about how, like, the Eagles just weren't catching the ball and that was killing you. So was there any change on that at all today?
Wentz definitely looked worse today than he did. He missed some huge throws. You always have some drop passes, but I didn't feel like we were even close enough to getting past the 3rd down this game. You know, last game we kept making it to 3rd down and not necessarily converting on 3rd down. Today we couldn't even get, go in on 3rd down. It was so bad. Our offense was so bad that it didn't matter these drops we had. And then Wentz just was missing people. I mean, he had a couple huge misses. He took a safety. He just was holding on to the ball. I mean, there's so much about this team that just makes you crush as an Eagles fan. And in the end, they come close to winning. And you're just like, oh, my God, could you play a little bit better at certain times? Like, they're so close to being a decent team. Kelsey came out of the game at a point today, and you're just like, oh, God, Lane Johnson weekly comes out of a play. So it was disheartening. It was disheartening as an Eagles fan.
I said in the prediction last week, you guys did your best Odell Beckham Jr. impression. I thought the Browns would shit on you guys, but you guys shit on yourselves. The
We
run
really
game
We
did
really
what
did.
I expected it to do. Chubb 20 for 114. Hunt got kind of stopped, only 13 carries for 11 yards, but he did have the touchdown. Cleveland did not miss Myles Garrett being out with COVID. Olivier Vernon filled in with 3 sacks from the same position. And Meech, Eagles fan, I know it's tough. It comes with its highs and lows, but are you ready to blow it up? You ready to blow up this
I was
roster you got?
literally
Sanders,
about
get
to
them
ask
the
that
fuck out.
question. I was
What do you
literally about to
think?
ask you that question.
I mean,
Start with
here's part
firing
of
the
problem.
coach.
No, and I don't think you need to overreact. We did just win a Super Bowl, not so in the. I mean, it feels like a distant future, but or distant
Right.
past.
How
Right.
much of the players from that team are still there, though?
I mean, a fair amount. A fair amount of them are still there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, Kelsey, our whole offensive line is still there, which was a big reason why we won back then. But
The guy who won
it's
not.
hard because you can't really blow it up. I mean, there's nothing you can do. You can choose not to re-sign Sanders, and that's fine. He still has. I think he got drafted 2 years ago, so he still has another couple years on his rookie deal. But you signed Carson Wentz to this massive contract
Right.
last offseason. I mean, going into last offseason when they talked about Dak getting his deal and he didn't, that's when we signed Wentz. So, you signed him to this massive 4-year deal, and I thought I had it written down. I don't see it anymore, but I think it was a 4-year, 100 and something million, 160.
I'll Google it. I'll
something like
Google it.
that.
Hold, please.
So you signed this guy who was an MVP before his injury, and then he has just been on a downslope ever since, and it's holding onto the ball too long, not making the right moves. I feel like he's kind of hesitant to escape now more than he used to be, because of that injury.
It's a theme with
it
you
just-
guys, huh? Just downward slope.
Yeah, it does appear that way this year. But yeah,
You
The
can talk to
con-
Verdi about that. I'm sure he knows plenty about downward slopes.
What the fuck are you trying to say? Are you referring to my alcoholism or are you referring to my
No,
fandom?
Jesus. I was referring to your sports fandom.
Listen, you can say whatever you want about the Mets, and I'll have to take it. I understand that. But don't be talking shit about the Rangers, man. They're on the way up, all right? And just so you know, Meech, the contract is 4 years. I think it was $128 million. So just to throw that out there so you have your answer. Yeah, that's a pretty steep one. But yeah, dude, I mean, the Mets, yeah, they're a shit show. They're like a perennial shit show. Like, they're always a shit show. But the Rangers, I think, are making solid moves. That, it helps that they've had the draft rigged in their favor. Yes, I'll admit it. It was rigged in their favor.
100%.
But whatever, man. They hadn't had a number 1 overall pick since I think it was 1965 or some shit like that. So shut the fuck up. It's easy to say that when you're a goddamn Bruins fan. Anyway, let's
Celtics' last number 1 overall pick died. So
R.I.P. R.I.P. I shouldn't laugh. That's terrible. That's terrible. All right, it's becoming a hate circle again, and I just won't have that. So let's move on to the next game, which is the Falcons and the Saints.
Meech, would you like to start?
I mean, Hill did better than expected. I was not expecting much from him, and he didn't do like great in the passing game. He was 18 for 23, 233 yards.
Okay.
Passing.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, I'm taking over. Taking
Okay.
over your role here. No, I'm just kidding. That's what you're doing for me. But and then
Go
he
fuck
rushed
myself, I
twice
guess.
for 51 yards and 2 TDs. So he was just more of a problem to deal with than anything. And the Falcons just couldn't get anything going either. The Saints defense did look pretty solid today.
You got a stat for the Saints defense? Because I do. Fucking asshole.
Jesus.
Yeah, someone's a little defensive.
Yeah, take
Saints
another
have-
hit, motherfucker. Jesus.
Take a
Saints have-
heat, Dubs. Take a heat. Take a bamboo
I had-
schooner.
I had a good hit. We're good. We had smoked beforehand. Got the homegrown Durban poison.
Yeah.
Had only a bowl of it. Put me on my ass. and I
Bro,
smoked
I've
it.
got this. Sorry, I'm derailing us, but I've got this. It's called Amnesia Haze, and it just
I've
like
had some of that
it
before.
fucking destroys me, dude. Like, I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna take like a tiny little hit because I don't want to like lose the day, and I take this tiny hit, and it's like 6 hours later. I've watched like 2 seasons of Reno 911. It's it's like 10 o'clock at night, and I'm like, what the fuck happened to my day? Anyway, we can get back to Double's job, which is defensive stats. So go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's all right. 8 sacks from the Saints, 2 picks. That's the third game in a row they've had more than 5 sacks as a team. This defense has been incredibly underrated all year, and I feel like they're just starting to get their due. Meach touched on it. Taysom Hill did his job today. Started him over Winston. I picked up Winston for fantasy. Was hoping he would start. But
Yeah, last episode we kind of talked about how we all figured
all
that
thought he
was
would.
that he was going to start. So that's kind of shocking.
Right. Also shocking to me was Latavius Murray and Alvin Kamara split carries today, and Murray led Kamara in the rushing game, which was
What
bit of a
were
shocker to me.
what were the like stat lines on it?
They each had 13 carries. I believe Murray had 54 yards and Kamara had like 46 or something like that.
Okay.
I might be off a little bit from in the ballpark.
Yeah, that's not too like big of a spread though.
Yeah. Thomas had 9 catches for 104. Atlanta, Julio Jones just like didn't play half the game. I don't know why. Have more on that.
No,
I saw that shit all over
I've
Twitter. People were
I've got nothing.
There's a picture of Julio Jones sitting on the fucking bench, just like pouting, and it was like Julio Jones fantasy owners right now.
I'll do a quick Google while you're running through the rest of the stats.
Yeah, Matt Ryan had 2 picks. A lot of teams this week couldn't run the ball. I saw a ton of teams under 100 rushing yards as a team. Atlanta was one of them. They only had 52.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of these morning games were just not high scoring or particularly interesting at all. I mean, you and me had our teams going this morning, so we were into that. But I mean, not a super compelling day for fantasy or high scoring offense, if you like that.
Morning for you out there on the West Coast, you privileged fuck.
Yeah. Try and beat that one, buddy.
Dealing with the goddamn cold here, dude.
Yeah, there's nothing. I just Googled it and there's literally like there's nothing. An article pops up
he
from
had
like 2 months
catches
ago.
Today. He was on the bench like a ton.
Yeah, an article pops up from like September that says he had a hamstring injury, but that was in September. So there's nothing. At least now. Maybe we'll know something more, when we do Wednesday's show.
Maybe he punched a teammate like Michael Thomas.
All right,
wild accusation.
Probably Matt Ryan for not targeting him in the fucking end zone.
All right, well, moving on, we've got Cincinnati and the Washington Football Club.
R.I.P. Joe Burrow's knee. My boy, he went down. It was fucking gruesome. I am absolutely in the shitter. I'm so depressed. Meech.
Yeah, Joey Bats went down. Bad looking play, and that's never want to see that. He tweeted out after the game, "See you next year." He's done with an ACL, and that takes any motivation to ever watch the Cincinnati Bengals out for me.
Yeah, right.
Joey Burrow gives his team a different look, and without him, they look like they looked last year, just pathetic. Yeah, big loss, huge loss, and it's you hate to see that one of the truly young talents in the game just get taken out like that. But
while we're still on the Bengals here, before I get to the Washington Football Club,
yeah.
How do you think Burrow will be able to bounce back from a torn ACL? Do you think he's going to be able to start next season? Is he going to come midway through? Is he going to look the same? He was top 10 in passing before the injury today.
I mean, I would say it's too early to tell, right? You kind of have to let
well,
it play out,
I get that, but I'm even just off of like a guess.
I think he'll
you're positing a guess.
Right.
I think it'll be strong.
I feel like the quarterbacks that are coming back that move more are more. And he runs. I mean, he does run.
But he's more of a pocket guy.
But he would rather pass if he had his druthers, to use an old phrase. He would rather pass, and so I think he'll be fine. The team does have a decent offensive line, but like we talked about in the past, Washington's pass defense is no joke. I mean, their front seven, their pass rush.
Yeah, they had 4 sacks today. Chase Young didn't have any of those, but he had a ton of pressures. He was chasing Burrow around everywhere on the offensive end of that.
Yeah, he stopped him from getting a touchdown as well.
Yeah, he stuffed him at the goal line and made him fumble. I was like, oh shit. He thought that, like, people probably saw that hit. We're like, oh fuck, Burrow's hurt. And then
he bounced right up.
1 quarter later, he tears his ACL.
Yeah.
Alex Smith, 17 for 25, 166, a touchdown and interception. That's his first game since coming back. He's thrown for under 300 yards. Antonio Gibson was the only bright spot on the Washington offense, 16 for 94 and a touchdown. And, I mean, like I said, there wasn't a lot of bright spots on the offense, but they're still able to score 20 points and get the win.
Yeah, and I just want to throw this out there. When I was watching the game today, like the Washington Football Club uniforms today in particular were disgusting. Since this is the uniform episode, I just thought I'd throw that out there. I fucking hated them, bro.
I've never liked their jerseys.
Me neither, but like recently, like I do actually kind of like just the number on the helmet. Like it's kind of dope. But like the colors today, it's like, ew, bro. Like that shit is nasty, bro. Like I would not buy that at all. But
their logo on
what else is fucking
I
nasty?
Think that their numbers on the helmet suck. I would rather have a logo, but they said it's strongly in the running that this might be their permanent nickname.
No. It's such a bad idea. It's such a bad idea. Oh my god, like that. I'm speechless.
Please don't.
Yeah, please don't. Just go with football club. Like we're speaking it into existence for you. Come on, guys. We're putting it out into the ether. Just like pick it out of the ether and use it.
I feel like it's
Washington
just hard for
football
a team
team
not
is
to have
so
a nickname.
bad. It's such a bad name.
It's so bad.
It literally just sounds like you fucked up saying it. Like you say it, you're like, that's wrong. What is it? And then you look at it and you were right. And you're like, what?
Yeah, what it sounds like is someone who doesn't know the team name is being like, like the Washington football team. You know, like the football team in Washington. Like, what's their name again? Like that team.
Absolutely right.
Can we also just take it back a minute?
Like that person at the Super Bowl party that's asking questions about some team that they've never heard of before.
Yep.
Can we just take it back like 5 minutes ago when Meech said druthers?
I know. Is it fucking 1932, dude? Who the fuck are you? I know you're old, but goddamn.
Get all mixed up.
I bet he calls the Knicks the Knickerbockers.
No.
Okay, that's amazing, by the way.
Is that their actual name? Like, was that their original name? I mean, I don't fucking know. I don't give a fuck about the Knicks, dude.
Yeah.
That is actually amazing. That's a great name. That's a really good name. I don't even... What is a Knickerbocker, though? Like,
isn't it like pants?
I don't
like
know.
Pants,
I don't know.
Like pantaloons?
Yeah, like jopper kind of pants.
Yeah, that's like the only guess I could muster.
Yeah, I don't fucking know. Well, the next game on the list, before we really get to it, I have a question for Double, because it's the Jets and the Chargers, and if I remember correctly on Wednesday's show, you said something, Double, to the effect of if the Chargers don't win, then our boy Air Bear is out. He's dead to me. He's dead
to me if they lost.
Well, they won today, so do you change that tune?
I do, but they took their foot off the brake a little too early. It was like 34-10 or something at the start of the fourth quarter.
Yeah.
And I literally wrote on my sheet Jets 0-10 at that point. I was like, no chance. And then they started coming back and chipping away and chipping away and chipping away. And it got to 31-28. And I was like,
I said the same thing, dude. I was like, oh no.
I was like, Air Bear's about to be dead to me. Oh no. But they ended up pulling it out, thankfully. The Chargers moved to 3-7. Like I said, the Jets fall to 0-10. Worst team in the league, maybe one of the worst ever. Air Bear had fucking 37 for 49, 366 yards, 3 touchdowns. Keenan Allen balled out for the Chargers, 16 catches, 145 yards and a touchdown on over 20 targets. So Air Bear's dialing in with his number one target.
Yeah, that's disgusting.
The Jets, Flacco, 15 for 30, 205, 2 touchdowns and a pick. The Jets' top 3 receivers only combined for 6 catches.
Oof.
Yeah, as a Crowder fantasy owner, I'm pissed off. I should have known better because he was Darnold's favorite target, and now that this clown's there, he's not his favorite target anymore. But good God, 2.6 points kills me. By the way, Knickerbocker is a form of men or boys baggy knee trousers. Also, as the dictionary says, a New Yorker. So it's not even as cool as it sounds, goddammit.
Yeah.
I'm like so smart it's scary. But
Jesus.
And oh so humble.
My best trait. But the Chargers had 12 minutes more of possession than the Jets, and that's really what sticks out in the stat category for me besides Air Bear.
Yeah, I'm
Absolutely dominating Flacco.
Well, I
in
mean,
stat
like
category.
my other question about the game when I was watching it, because it was one of the few games that I was paying very close attention to for that block, was
'Cause
like,
you're a Chargers fan, accept it.
I'm not. Was
Accept it.
and I
Accept
won't,
it.
and I won't. But my question to you really is like, can you make any judgments, in favor of the Chargers based on this game? Because like you said, not but maybe a minute ago, like the Jets are the worst team in the league, arguably one of the worst of all time. So to me, it's like you can't really you can't really give the Chargers too much
Right.
credit here. You know what I mean?
The only thing I agree with you 100%. The only thing that I will give to them is, like I said, it's nice to see Herbert and Keenan Allen connecting for 16 catches.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
against the worst defense, but either way, they're looking that way and trying to get him involved. So it's nice to see.
Yeah, it's definitely like a hitting a
But other
groove.
than that, I'm with you. No, nothing gets told there.
Yeah, you can't really. Meech, you got any thoughts about it?
Yeah, I mean, we all predicted that they would win this game. I think anyone who said that the Jets were going to win this game was just sadly mistaken.
Or a Jets fan?
No, they don't want to win, and they know they're not going to win. They know, but
They do.
I mean, it's their product that they have to fucking watch every week. But yeah, I mean, other than that, no. I mean, I didn't even watch that game. It was just so bad. I was just like, oh,
Yeah.
God.
Yeah, for sure. All right, well, let's move on to the next game, which was the Dolphins and the Broncos. And I have to say, I actually, last time we were talking about jerseys, I was like shitting on the Broncos jersey. I actually liked the jersey today. I liked
clean,
it.
bro.
Yeah, it's pretty clean. I'll give you that. I'm not a big orange guy, though, so, there's that. But anyway.
We went through 10 for jerseys.
Yeah.
I did a little more. I put the Broncos at 12, so I also came back on them a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah, see, you
All
guys
right.
were shitting all over
All
me
right.
when I brought that up.
All right, well, we'll get to the jerseys, boys.
Jesus.
We'll get to the jerseys. Let's stick to the analysis here. So, Double, you got the stats on that game? Analysis.
I have some stats, but my high ass didn't write down the score, so I've got everything else put.
All right, I'll Google the I'll Google the score.
But while you're doing
He's
that,
googling the stall.
the Broncos had multiple turnovers again. We talked about it last week. They average even more turnovers than Washington Football Club, which is just fucking pathetic. Locke was 17 for 209 with a pick. 17. I don't know what I did there. I can't read my writing again. But Melvin Philip Lindsay combined for 30 carries for 166 yards, which I touched on last week. They were going to need to do more of because they ran for under 10 carries in their last week's game, but straight away from that and had 30 between their two backs, and that's what you like to see if you're not a Chargers fan, Birdie. The Broncos.
God damn it. The score was 20-13 Broncos, by the way.
Yeah, all right. And on the Dolphins end, Tua was not playing super great. He was 11 for 20 with 83 yards and a touchdown. He got benched for Ryan Fitzpatrick, who came in and went 12 of 18 for 117 and a pick.
Don't know why you make that move. I don't know why that's a move you would make. Let this kid take his lumps, dude. Like this,
Yeah.
doing this does
Yeah.
nothing for him. I hate when coaches do this shit.
I agree with you 100%. I was to bring it back to the Rangers, which is going to be my want to do. So, listeners, I apologize. But, last season, there was a game where they benched Capo Caco because he had a real bad penalty. And Larry David of Curb Your Enthusiasm fame went on the radio and was like, you don't think the kid knows he fucked up? He knows he fucked up. Just give him a talking to and let him play. He's got to learn the lesson. But, you take him out of the game, that's fucking stupid. You're just killing his confidence at that point. So I agree with you 100%. You got to let him take their lumps and kind of learn how to, overcome that, deal with the problem, move past it. That's part
Well,
of
and in the
playing.
NFL, they become weekly talking points at press conferences. They're gonna have to talk about this all week, even though
Right.
Brian Flores said explicitly after the game that Tua was starting next week. It's going to be brought up. It's going to be talked about all week long.
Right.
And instead of just letting the kid deal with a beatdown, you pull him for what? It's not
Yeah.
like they did that much better without him. And so
Yeah.
you're taking away his experience. And I hate when coaches do this. And I really thought that they were looking far down the road when they went to him. It was an unpopular decision at the time. He's since looked good, so that decision looks a little bit better. But if you're going to think that far ahead, if you're going to think, let's put this kid in there, he's our future, let's go. Why the fuck are you going to yank him when stuff isn't going his way? Like, that's just how it works in the NFL sometimes.
Right. And like I said, like they know they fucked up. Yeah, and like they'll know they fucked up. Like they're not stupid. Like they got to that level for a reason. Like they'll know when they fucked up. You know, you can give them a talking to, but I don't think like pulling them is the right. I think it kind of like kills their confidence a little bit. Like that's just, you know, again, my opinion.
Yeah. One more thing with Miami, I wanted to ask you guys.
Yeah.
They started up the season 1-4, came back and won 5 straight.
Right.
And now they fall to Denver, who hasn't looked great the last couple of weeks. Do you think Miami still has a chance to get into the playoffs?
I'm gonna say yes. I'm gonna say yes.
I mean, I think they do, but if they don't make the playoffs, I can't think you can look back at this decision and be like, oh, that was a bad decision. But when you start making moves like they've made, where they benched him today, you're just like, what the fuck is the whole point? The whole point was to gain experience. So like,
yep, you got to play the kids, man.
They could very well miss the playoffs, and I think they might if they keep looking like this. But you're just, I don't even. I
just
can't
ride Tua.
I
pick of the draft. He's your future. Just ride
yeah.
Tua. I'm
waiting. You made that decision already.
Right. You've already pulled Fitzpatrick and started Tua for 3 games.
Right.
Why put Fitzpatrick back in?
When you pulled Fitzpatrick beginning, you knew he was accustomed to doing what he did today.
Right.
You know, looking decent and then throwing an interception right when you don't need it. And so, like, you did it for a reason. But
yeah, I think Meach kind of like really, I don't know if he intended to, but he kind of summed up how I feel about it. It's like I wouldn't be surprised either way. If they made it, I'd be like, yeah, that makes sense. And then if they didn't, I'd be like, okay, well, I could see that. You know, like it's kind of like I can't really definitively call it, but I can say that either which way, I won't be surprised. I do think though, like if they don't make the playoffs, they'll be like, you know, right there. Like what do they call that? A fucking, what's the industry term? Double, come on, help me out. Is a fringe team? Is that the word? Yeah. Like that's how I see it, man.
I call it purgatory. But...
yeah. It's because that's exactly what it fucking is. It's exactly what it is.
We're talking about surprises. Fucking Dallas beating the Vikings. 31-28, Dallas wins. We said last week, I thought Garrett Gilbert was starting. Not the case. Andy Dalton, 22 for 32, 203, 3 touchdowns and a pick. Zeke finally looked good. He's had a bunch of games in a row under 100 yards, but he went 21 for 103. And Pollard added 60 yards and a touchdown on 5 carries as well to the Dallas run game, which is really what fueled them to this win.
Yeah, well, Zach Martin was back as well, and that was news that came out late this week, but that definitely changed the complexion of the game, and you'll see that reflective in the run game, I think.
Yeah, another thing that killed the Vikings was 8 penalties for 80 yards. Dallas only had 4 for 30. Dalvin Cook, 27 carries for 115 yards and a touchdown, and Kirk Cousins played really well, 22 for 30, 318, and 3 touchdowns, but it just wasn't enough.
Yeah, I was watching that game pretty closely. Actually, it was one of the few that I don't know why I watched it closely because it like I remember on the last episode we were like, yeah, that game's gonna be a shit show. But
fucking garbage.
Didn't you? I think you both picked the Vikings though, right? I think that was your pick, right?
Yeah, it's another pick. We both got fucking wrong.
Listen, it happens sometimes, boys. You can't win them all, you know.
Add it to the list.
Yeah, add it to the list.
You can win. A Colts versus Packers call. One of the few that I got right, so that's why I'm, trumpeting this, victory that I made.
Yeah, and that's an important win for you because now you're ahead in the picks game, I believe, because of that win. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Tell him.
Yeah, you are. So it looks like Double's going to be eating that pineapple and ham pizza pretty soon.
It's 13-12 on correct pick. Fucking relax.
Hey, Double, get fucked.
Also, that's not what's happening. If I lose, I'm not eating that fucking pizza.
Yeah, you are, dude. Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are.
Come here and down my throat, motherfucker. I'll see you here.
Yeah, I mean, it's not that far for me. I'll make the drive.
See you here.
Shove it down your gullet, son.
All right. I mean, you got any stats on the game, Dubs? Or are we going to sit here and just talk shit to each other for the next 20 minutes? I'm cool either way.
You want to talk shit? I'll talk shit. I have stats. Rodgers 27 for 38, 311 yards, 3 touchdowns, and a pick. And Aaron Jones and the run game really fucked the Packers today. They had 3 fumbles and the pick from Rodgers, resulting in 4 turnovers, and they only lost by 3. You cut those out, that's a big fucking win.
Yeah, and like when we were watching the game, like, you know, right before we are podcasting today,
Right.
you know, towards the end of that fourth quarter, like you and I both were like, oh shit, like the Packers could win the game right here, and then they just didn't.
I was certain they were going to win. They were driving. They were looking good. Rodgers was hitting every fucking pass. He was
Yeah.
leading the defense like a book.
Yep.
And then they couldn't score. They went,
As soon as Rodgers takes the field, he just has that look like he's gonna fucking do this.
yeah, every single time. You're like, God damn it. There he is again.
Mr.
Gonna do this
Relax is
shit.
gonna fucking hammer home this goddamn win.
Yeah. The other thing that gave the Colts the edge was just time of possession. They ran, 17 more plays than the Packers, and they had 15 more minutes of time of possession. So, I mean, when you have the ball for that long, and like I said, the turnovers didn't help with that case, but Indiana is able to pick up the win. And I touched on it with the Titans game. They now are tied with the Titans record-wise, but they hold the tiebreaker. So they are in the lead in the AFC South.
Interesting. Now we move on to the fabled preview section
The
of
preview.
The preview.
Welcome to the preview.
All right, and it's
God.
I love how much
This is just gonna be a weekly thing, like
Yep.
an episode
Yep.
Every
weekly
single
thing.
time.
it is, man, and I love how much it makes you uncomfortable. All right, so it's
Preview.
it's the Rams and the Bucks, right?
Correct.
All right, so let's go Meech
Meech.
first.
Yes.
Well, I'm going to call the Rams in this game, and I think that it's going to get it done because their D-line is exactly what has hampered Brady every time he's lost a fucking Super Bowl. Is the defensive line is just dangerous. And I think you're going to have the Rams win, and not because of their defense, but their defense is going to play a big role in limiting the Bucks offense, I think.
Okay.
I'm going to side with you on that one. I'm also going to take the
Aw.
Rams. I did go back and forth, though. Last week, the Rams picked up 23-16 win over the Seahawks. Fuck you, Meech. Don't even bring it up. The Bucks picked up a win, 46-23 over Carolina last week. Brady looked great in that, 341, 3 touchdowns. Jones had that 98-yard touchdown, and they have scored 30-plus points in 3 of their last 5 games. And that high-flying offense looked great last week with all of their weapons, but Bruce Arians has said a couple times this week that they haven't had their bye yet, and the team looks really tired. He's had to cut back practice times and things like that just to preserve people's energy. And that's not what you want to hear your coach say coming into a big game against the Rams. Meech touched on it. Brady struggles with getting, like, when he gets sacked, he doesn't win games. I watched it my whole fucking life. He's been sacked
when the
4
front
times.
4 gets pressure by itself without blitzing,
right.
you can drop back that extra coverage. That is the recipe to beat Brady, and it always has been.
Always has been. Brady sacked 14 times this season. 9 were in 3 games. Lost all 3 of those games. The Rams are 3rd in the NFL in sacks with 31 from 11 different people, and the leader of that is Aaron Donald with 9.
Is he good?
No.
Yeah, no, he's a big part of why I'm taking this team. Just disgusting pass rush. That is the way to beat him, and I think they'll wrap it up on Monday night.
All right. Well, that brings us to the long-awaited Jersey War. The
Not going
dispute,
first.
the
Called it.
argument. No, you are going first.
No, I'm not. You are. You talked all that shit. You go first.
You are.
No, you are. All right, Meech, you go first.
Okay, I got number 1 Chargers.
Or should hold on.
Okay.
Or should we all go from the bottom? Like,
That's
we all
what-
say
that
our
was the-
10s,
before we start,
and we
yeah.
all say our 9s.
That was the thing that I was going to... Are we going to go from 10 to 1 or 1 to 10? We need to
10
work
to
this out.
1
We
for
should have worked this
sure.
out before we recorded.
Okay,
Sorry,
so we
guys.
got 10-1, and we all knew Chargers would be number 1 anyway. So I have number 10 as Steelers. I like their uniforms.
Oh,
it's
wow.
black,
Way different than
yellow,
me.
just
Way
clean,
different than me.
crisp.
They're up top for me. They're like up near the top.
Oh, they didn't edge out that badly. Number 9, I have the Vikings. Like I said, yeah, you do that, but they have.
Oh,
unique
I'm near
colors
you there.
and they pop.
Yeah, and that matted helmet, like it's a matte paint, like that shit is lit, dude.
I do like
Yeah,
matte
yeah.
helmets. Those are cool. I'll give you that.
Then I have the Packers at number 8. Once again, I think the green and the yellow are a combination you don't see together very often, and they just pop. It's something classically great about those unis. Number 7, I have the Panthers. I think they just have a great jersey, black, silver, and
I have
powder
them
blue.
higher.
Yeah, I know you like them. I know you like them. Number 6 is the Browns. Something about the Browns jerseys, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I have
what
the
it is.
Browns
I
at
can't
6-2.
explain it.
Let's go. I have the Browns at 6-2. Let's go.
The Browns cracked my list too.
Yeah, there's something amazing about that jersey, and thank God, because the fans in Cleveland need something to hang their hat on. I put Raiders at number 5. They could be 4.
What?
Raiders, black, silver, sharp. That's all I gotta say.
Shit.
Seahawks are at number 4 for me. I like the neon mixed with the gray. I don't know. Colts, as a Dodgers fan, I love Dodger blue. It's a little bit brighter than Dodger blue, but
Yeah.
it pops. The blue and the white pop. I guess it's a lot lighter than Dodger blue, but whatever. It pops. And then I have the Broncos at number 2. I love the combo dark blue, white, and orange. I think they just do it so well.
Wait. You went from
and
4 to 2. You went from 4 to 2. Who's
You
number 3?
Skipped one, and I know which one you skipped.
No, Colts is who I said Colts.
That was 4.
That was 4, wasn't it?
No, Seahawks was 4.
Okay. All right.
okay.
My
Okay,
bad.
we're
My
both-
bad.
okay.
My bad.
Yeah.
Jump of the gun. My bad.
So 4 Seahawks, 3 Colts, Broncos is 2, and then Chargers just have the badass uniforms. They're the best.
We all know they're. all
Yeah.
wonderful.
Chargers is the
Consensus
number 1
number
uniform.
one.
Yeah,
Unanimous
absolutely.
number one.
Absolutely. I mean, I don't agree with some of them, but I have different taste, I think, than you guys. Like, you
You
guys,
do.
like, I don't like a busy uniform. Like, I kind of like it to be
We've
like,
talked about
a
this
uniform
playing
color.
NHL.
yeah,
I
like,
was gonna say, so you like shitty uniforms?
no, not at all. You're a fucking idiot. Don't talk. What are you talking about? Like, some of the greatest uniforms in like all of sports history are really simple. The Chicago Blackhawks is a very simple uniform, and that uniform is
Okay,
dope
but get back
fresh.
to rating NFL jerseys. Let's go.
Okay, all right,
Chicago
fine,
Blackhawks. Jesus
fine. So at number 10, Double's gonna like this. Because we were doing just the home jerseys for this year, right?
Correct.
I have the Patriots at number 10. I like the jersey. It's a
Nice.
little, if you actually look at it from like this year to like last year, it's a little bit different. Like it's a little
changed to the
cleaner.
smidge.
Yeah, and I actually really like it. It's like it's just like really neat and like really tidy.
Yeah, simple colors, but looks
Nobody
clean.
does red, white, and blue like the Patriots.
I beg to differ, New York Rangers. Moving on, number 9.
We're sticking with the NFL.
Jesus Christ, Bernie.
All right. Number 9, I actually, this is kind of a shout out to Dubs a little bit, but we did touch on them earlier, and yes, the helmets are stupid, but I do actually like the overall like layout of the color. I like the color scheme. I have the Cardinals.
Let's go! I
Yeah.
fucking told you, motherfucker.
No,
top
dog
10
shit.
jersey. in
It
the
is.
NFL.
No, it is.
Absolute
Nah,
dog
dude.
shit.
The thing is, here's the thing for me that you guys are gonna disagree with. The Seahawks are not on my list. The Panthers are not on my list. They're so close. I like the color schemes. I don't like the colors for either of those teams. Like, I don't like that like highlighter fucking color that the Seahawks have
That's
it
the
in
best.
their jersey.
That's
Like, and
the
I know it's
best
just
part
an
of their
accent.
jersey.
We were
No, it's
going
fucking
off-
not. You are
Yes, it
wrong.
is.
No, you are not. It looks like a high visibility. Like the jersey they wore this past week literally looks like a jacket you
Those
wear
are
when
the
you go
best
hunting so you
jerseys.
don't fucking get shot. It literally
Those
looks
are the
like
best
something a
jerseys.
cop wears when they do traffic duty. It's disgusting. It's ugly. And I would never fucking buy that shit ever in my goddamn life. Now, this is where Meech and I were kind of similar because 8, I have the Vikings. I
He
think
just rolled into it. He was so
Yeah, he didn't even give us a
dialed it
fucking
down.
chance.
Nope,
dude.
fuck you. You're wrong. Because you're wrong.
You're
Because
wrong.
You're wrong. Why am I wrong? Tell me why I'm wrong.
They're the fucking. That's the best Seattle jersey. The all highlight
Oh
green.
my
Everyone
God.
fucking
Yeah.
loves those
It's
jerseys.
The color rush
disgusting.
Seattle jerseys.
Yes,
No.
they're the best.
No,
they're top.
you know
5
what it looks
NFL
like? Here's
jerseys,
what
period.
here's what it really looks like. Have you ever had to pass a drug test and you drink that drink that like supposedly cleans your system
The
out?
flush?
Yeah, and then you like piss that like neon green. That's what it fucking looks like. And just for that, no fucking way. So moving on, the Vikings at number 8 because it's it's a plain jersey, but it's dope. And like I said, like we said a second ago, the matte helmets are fucking lit. And then I actually have the Packers at 7, which I'm with Meech. There's just something about the jersey. It's like, I don't know, it's just classic. Meech said it best. It's just classic. Like something about it that's dope. And then at number 6 is the Browns, like we discussed earlier. I don't know why either, dude. I really don't, because I sat there and like I wrote it down and I was like, really? And then I just kept looking at it, trying to find a reason to hate it. You know, like I was
And I
really
couldn't.
trying,
And
and
you
I couldn't.
couldn't.
Yeah, I couldn't.
did the same thing.
Yeah, like I was like, dude, this jersey is kind of dope. Like, yes, it does look like a turd, but it is kind of fucking awesome. Like, there's something about it. It looks so old school. I think that's
Like
really
Seth
what it is for
Rogen
me.
right there, Birdie. You said it is. It does look like crap, but it's great.
Yeah, yeah. I think what it is for me, and correct me if you guys disagree. Well, don't correct me, just disagree with me. I think it's because it looks old school as fuck. Like it looks like a jersey that could have been worn, you know, a long time ago. And something about that. Yeah, something about that is
Agree,
awesome.
but it's also relevant now. I feel like too. Like the style doesn't go away now. Like there's
No,
something
for
cool
sure.
about it though, for sure.
Yeah, something like kind of, it has like almost like a vintage vibe about it. So
All right.
I got that at
Number
Number 6.
5.
Number 5 is the Dolphins. This is where I thought I might throw you for a loop. I like the Dolphins jerseys.
They made my list too.
Yeah, there's like
It was right on the bubble of mine, dude. Honestly,
it's a busy jersey, but like I think it's the colors, like in the way they implement the colors. The color scheme is dope as shit.
yeah, it's unique and it pops for sure.
Yeah, and I mean I don't really like the logo all that much, but like just the way the jersey laid out is pretty dope. And then number 4, I have the Colts, because it's
Me
just
too.
it's classic.
I lied. I'm sorry.
The Colts is just classic. It's just a fucking sharp jersey. Like you could, you know, wear it anywhere. Fucking funerals, weddings, you know, Christmas dinner, whatever.
Wear that electric blue to a fucking funeral.
I'm just saying, if it was like my
a sore fucking thumb, this guy.
I'm just saying, bro, if it was like my dad's funeral and like double walked in with like a Colts uniform on, I'm not gonna be pissed. I'm gonna be like, yeah, this shit's
You
dope,
look
man.
fresh as hell.
Yeah,
bro.
you look fucking fly as shit. That's dope as fuck. Now
There
number
goes the gutter boy with his fucking Andrew Luck jersey at his dad's funeral.
And then at number 3, I've got the Steelers, because I really love that uniform. Always have, like my entire life. I think that's like just fucking. It's simple, but it's fucking awesome looking. And then number 2, I have the Raiders, because I think the Raiders is one of the best jerseys in all of sports. I just do. I think it's one of the best jerseys in all of sports. Like you've been dragging me for bringing
You're
up
not
hockey
wrong.
jerseys, but it just is.
not wrong.
And then number 1, obviously, like we said, the Chargers. So that's my list, and I'm sticking to it.
All right. Does that mean it's me?
That means it's you. Let's go.
All right. So I'll start with my honorable mention. We touched on it. It just missed
We
the
have-
list.
10, motherfucker. We have a top 10.
Okay. But this one just missed it for me. You both had one that you said just missed.
Meech,
This is
you can't
mine.
rush perfection.
Yeah. All right.
Jesus.
Seahawks were my honorable mention. They were number 11.
Okay. All right. So they weren't even in the top 10. So you came at me with all that hate, and they weren't even in your top 10.
No.
motherfucker.
But the color rush jerseys that you're shitting on are phenomenal. We didn't go off those though. We went off home jerseys.
All right.
Am I wrong?
No. You're right. That's what you said. Anyway, number 10.
Okay. Number 10, I got the Dolphins. They just made the list. They had the orange and aqua. It just kind of pops to me for some reason. I don't know why. I know people think they're ugly, but it's
Yeah,
unique.
I like
Yeah.
it. And the white
Yeah.
helmet, too.
Yeah. Totally with you on that one. Number 9, we've got the Bills.
Oh man, they almost made
Really?
my list. Dude, they were on my list originally at like number 7, and I took them off and put the Packers on. I like the Bills jerseys too, man. It's simple,
There's something
but it
with the
fucking
blue and
works,
the,
dude.
The blue and the white pants what really make it pop.
Yeah, it's something about it just fucking works for
Yeah.
me. I'm so glad you
Another
did that.
jersey
They're-
for me. It does nothing special.
We're not
for
going
me.
off
Another
logos, but
jersey.
the Bills logo is phenomenal.
Oh, it's top tier for sure.
Top tier.
It's
for
a
sure.
top tier logo for sure.
But number 8, this is one of the ones I came around on. I told Meech last night there was one that you guys shit on me for not liking that I came around on. That was the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Hey,
They
let's
come in at
go.
number 8 for all the reasons you guys said. I changed my mind on this one.
There we go. All right.
No.
All right.
Number 7, we are going to go with the Arizona Cardinals. The whole reason this debate started, you guys shit on me up and down for it, and Birdie ends up agreeing with me.
Hold on. I didn't necessarily disagree with you. I just didn't think they were one of the like top ones, and that's what it felt like to me. You were saying like they were literally
I
top
only said
five.
they were top 10.
Okay,
That's
maybe
only what I
so.
said.
And all the yelling
That was
and
like
all
you
the
walking it
craziness.
back, though. When you said that was like you walking it back because you were like, "Oh my god, they're so good, and then you were like, "Well, they're in the top 10."
They're top tier. Top third, top 10.
Yeah, he's got a fair point. He's got a fair point, Meech. All right.
Yeah, I still feel like it was him walking back his initial statement. So I don't
And I
understand.
agree with you.
I'm
And
taking
I
it as a victory.
I agree with you.
Think what you want. Fuck y'all. Number 6, we got the New England Patriots. My fucking team. We talked about it with you, Birdie. The red, white, and blue. Nobody does it like the fucking Patriots. They changed it a little bit from last year, and I like the changes they made. So they're coming in at a 6.
Number 5.
Indianapolis Colts. I thought they were at 4 when you were going through your list, but they come in at 5. The blue and white, the horseshoe logo on the helmet. I like the Colts jersey.
Yeah, they're just clean, easy, good jerseys.
Yep.
Number 4, we've got the Cincinnati Bengals.
I almost put them on my list too.
Cracked mine. They were like on the bubble as well for me.
Yeah,
Cincinnati
man.
Bengals come in at number 4.
Hold on, let
orange
me-
and the black with the tiger stripes. It fucks, dude.
Let me check my original list because I could tell you they were on there somewhere.
Orange and black is just naturally goes together.
Yeah, as
Yeah,
a
and it's the
Dodger fan,
fucking
I
tiger
hate
stripe
orange and
helmet.
black.
Right.
I hate
fuck,
orange and
the
black
stripes
because
are
of
so
the
good.
Giants, but yeah, no, the Bengals jerseys look clean.
I
They're
can't
good.
Orange
find
and
my
black, they
list.
go together.
I can't find my list, so whatever. Anyway,
Number 3, Detroit Lions.
I thought really heavily about the Lions, and I was like, at the end of it, I was just
The
like,
white-
it's not enough.
The light blue and the gray, I don't know, it does something.
It's
for me.
just
I like it.
bland for me.
It's the
I
I
just-
gray.
had Calvin
man.
Johnson
It's the-
Jr. jersey
it's
too.
the gray.
So.
The gray for me is what like puts me out of it. Like I don't like the gray with the blue and the. It's just it doesn't.
Oh, I like it.
It's not.
I think they're
it
all
doesn't
grays.
fit.
I think they're all gray. Color rush is phenomenal.
I do like that jersey. I do like that jersey too. I'll give it up for that one.
Number 2, we got the Panthers. Birdie hates it. Meech had it on lower on your list. What was it, 9 or 8?
No. Panther. Oh yeah, you know I moved them back to 7,
7. All right.
which they started at like 4 for me too. But yeah, no, I moved them back to 7. But yeah, those are clean black and that blue.
Yeah,
and
the
silver
black
looks
jersey with the blue highlights. and
See,
the
I just
silver in
don't.
there.
I don't
It's-
like
it's
the
good.
black and blue. Like I don't like it, man. I can't get down.
Yeah,
man.
you're wrong for that.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah, you are.
Whatever.
You're in the minority for that
whatever,
one, Chief.
Whatever.
Boo this man.
Boo him. Shower him
Boo.
with booze. Number 1, we all talked about it. Consensus: Chargers, best
Yeah.
jerseys in the NFL.
Absolutely, 100%. Well, at
Maybe
least we
best
all
jerseys
agreed on
in
number
sports.
1. Yeah, it might be. It might
It's
be.
up there. It's
It
up
is.
there.
It's hard to pick the best jersey in sports though, because there are a lot of really good ones. There are a
The
lot
great-
of really good ones.
The great jersey debate comes to a close.
It does. And with that, the show comes to a close. So thanks for listening to this episode of Stone Sports. We appreciate it. You can follow us on social media. That's Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube. It's all Stone Sports Podcast. Anything you want to say before we go, boys?
Nah, I'm good. Just
Good.
peace.
Peace.
All right. We're out of here. Take care.